So shortly now, I think I have the privilege to bring up our lead mentor who started or who shared this vision that we are co-sharing with him. So we believe strongly in, if you believe strongly in DSN, I want us to rise up and celebrate Dr. Olubayo Adekanmbi as he comes up to take up the stage, as he's going to lead us into the opening session for this session.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here. Please, can you have your seat? I want to celebrate each and every one of you for making it to this very competitive, highly desired AI Bootcamp, one of the foremost AI learning platforms that has been consistent in driving impact in the last 7 years. It's a great delight to meet all of you. And in the next few minutes, I have just very quick minute just to set the agenda for you before we go straight into our classes. What I can promise you is that these next 5 days will be a reference point in your career path. Why do I say that? In the last 7 years, I go around the world and I meet people who, through the opportunity to attend this boot camp, from nobody they become somebody. Why? Because the boot camp does not require you to have money. You don't need to know anybody. All that's important is that you have a passion to learn. And because you have passion to learn, you get access. And when you get access, then you can become just anything you want to become. So be driven by what is ahead of you, that this boot camp can set you up for greater height. And that is why when you come for an event like this, I always say certain things, that great programs do not make great people, but it's only great decisions. What are you going to do with this event? And that is the thing you need to tell yourself. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this event? Are you going to just have some nice time, take some pictures, speak with people and have fun, or you are going to make something great out of it in terms of, I'm going to leave this place to learn new things about artificial intelligence. I'm going to write 1 or 2 academic papers. I'm going to build skill set in reinforcement learning, in computer vision, in natural language processing. I'm going to look for an opportunity to volunteer with 1 or 2 organizations. I'm going to build a Zindi profile. I'm going to build a Kaggle profile. I'm going to work on projects. I'm going to seek for freelancing opportunity. I'm going to make this opportunity count for myself. So it's just decisions that will make all the difference. If you can go to your jotter and open the last page of your jotter. Can you open the last page of your jotter? Let's do some activity. What do you want to make out of this boot camp? Last page of your jotter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you want to make out of this boot camp? What do you want to make out of it? What do you want to make out of this boot camp? Just go to the last page of your jotter and tell yourself, this is what I want to make out of this boot camp. Good. And mind you, as the session unfolds, you will hear new perspective from the speakers. And those perspectives may trigger you to update your plans. But make sure that when you leave on Friday, I'm going to ask you to open this page again and put timelines to whatever you have as your plan. So when I come back on Friday for the closing event, we're going to ask you to open this page again and put in there your specific plans, what you are going to do different. Good. So let's run. So I'm meant to just share with us a welcome, to welcome you and to set some tones that can help you calibrate your expectations and maximize this event. So number 1 is, from January 2017 to date, we've hosted 7 AI boot camps, and we've been very intentional about it because we understand that if we want to build a world-class AI ecosystem, we need to be intentional, not just have typical events. You know, you can attend events, you have some nice time, but we have seen that in order to learn and build mastery, you need events like this where you spend 3, 4, 5 days of active engagement in learning and in activity. You know, and not just that, that the process by which you also make it to the boot camp is also intentional. You know, there's some AI event you attend, you just register and you attend. It's not like that for DSN. Because we know that learning must be purposeful. If I want to make something out of something, I must have made some investment. And that is why, based on theory of learning, which we have proven over time, the rigor of preparing for the boot camp in itself is as good as the boot camp. And that's why when I go around the world and I meet people who are product of AI boot camp, I remember I met a young man at University of Maryland, and he was telling me that I'm a product of DSN. I said, oh, did you come to our boot camp? He said, no, I did not make it to the boot camp, but I prepared for the boot camp. And that preparation gave me an opportunity to be part of DSN 100 days of AI learning. So the preparation in itself is sufficient to make you. And that's why when you index Data Science Nigeria AI Bootcamp rating globally, check it on Meta AI. This is an example. Check it on which other chatbots. They will easily rate it as one of the biggest and most impactful AI bootcamps in Africa. Not because about the crowd, but it's about the depth. I'm very keen about depth. What do we make out of it? And that's why it's important for you to understand that what makes you is not the noise you make online. It's the depth of your learning that gives you credibility and weight in the world of AI. Are we together, guys? Good. So the next thing I want to talk about are the 4 P's that made you to be part of this boot camp. The first P are the participants. The number of people who went through the journey of participation. We had 36,000 people, 36,169 people who went through the process of learning to make it to this boot camp. So you are one out of this. So what is the percentage? So you can see that you are extremely privileged. Can you clap for yourself? But our joy is not in the people who are here. Our joy is in these 36,000 that we have met across 35 cities in Nigeria who have been engaged through our partner hubs to understand AI through our AI in every city and in every campus program, which all of you went through. And from there, you went through the hackathon and you made it here. Of course, you know, the number of states that are represented here are 32 states. Please, can we give ourselves a round of applause? Why are we intentional? That is not a Lagos affair. It is not for those who have the money who make it to the boot camp. The fundamental principle of AI, I'm a member of the Global AI Equity led by the UK government. One of the mandates is that AI can only serve for development if everyone can be involved, both in the knowledge, in the delivery, and in the development of the solution. If everything is about Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and we are not talking about people in Osun State, in Ebonyi State, in Zamfara State, in Yobe State, in Jigawa State, we are not building a community. A community is the fact that everybody is represented. And those are things we are very keen about at DSN. And that's why we make this event all expense paid, so that wherever you are coming from, we can pay for your transport from there and come back and learn the skills that you need to make a difference in your community. And I move to the preparation. Several hours of preparation. We went through hackathon where you were meant to submit your codes. And we had over 1,735 submissions. And of course, no, 3,856 submissions. from 1,735 people who participated in the hackathon. So the fact that people participated in the hackathon to qualify is a sufficient learning in itself. And I'm glad those people have that already in their portfolio as well. So if people who did not make it to the boot camp go very far in life, how much more those of us who make it to the boot camp? I'm sure that is setting and recalibrating your agenda for what you are going to do for the next 5 days. Are we together, guys? Are we together? Good. And then in terms of partnership for sustainability, at DSN, we're not just interested in AI in Lagos. No, no, no. That's not how you build a nation. We work with 48 centers across Nigeria to deliver learnings. And I'm glad to tell you that 38 of those partners are represented here with their staff. And why are we doing that? When their staff learns AI, they can go back to Sokoto, they can go back to Jigawa, they can go back to Abakaliki, they can go back to Ijebu-Ode, they can go back to Jos and ensure that all the learning that we have here can continue there. And in doing that, we build an equal society where everyone, everywhere can learn the skill they need to build the future they deserve. And that's why DSN stands out in our commitment to equity and inclusion, which are the foundational principle of artificial intelligence. Why am I telling you this? By the time I'm closing, I'm going to give us a charge so that you understand that the reason why we go the extra mile is that we are able to take the message of AI, capacity building, to every child everywhere. And each of us has that mandate, not to be selfish, but to be outward looking. But I come to program. This program will parade for you 25 speakers. Some of them have traveled thousands of kilometers to fly to Nigeria. And some of them are based in Nigeria. Some of them are all students of our boot camp, which for me is one of my greatest joy. That some of them are our products who are coming back to teach. Some of them are flying from outside Nigeria, and some of them are working for top companies in Nigeria. From Microsoft to Google to Stanbic Bank to Chevron to all the top companies. I tell you, you guys are in for a great time of learning. And we have teaching assistants, 38 teaching assistants who are DSN staff, who are on site. All our staff, we've shut down the company for this week because of you. All our staff are here. So all the people you see in the kitchen, and you think they are cooks, they are not cooks, they are data scientists. They cook data. But because of you, they have closed the business to come here to support you. You see some of them standing as ushers. Maybe I should mention one of them. The young lady that you see, because it's the closest to me, Rashida, you think she's an usher. At the last Indaba, her paper was one of the most awarded. She won an award. So when you see her helping you to, come and sit down, trying to clean the seat for you, it's because she believes in you. She's a superstar in her right, but because she wants to give back. And that is what all our staff are doing this week. They are here to help. So you see them in the kitchen, asking you to come and eat, helping you, packing plates and all of that, is because they believe in you. I believe you are not going to trivialize that or commonize the commitment that these wonderful people are making. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Thank you very much. Good. So, welcome to the University of Lagos. Why do I say that? University of Lagos is very important for us at DSN because in 2018, we opened our first AI hub in the University of Lagos. So we have built a very strong relationship with the University of Lagos, and that's why we are an integral part of University of Lagos community, and we celebrate the good work in the University of Lagos. And of course, you will meet one of the our strategic partners, NIT Hub, led by Dr. Victor Odumuyiwa, who has been helping us to do what we do. Today we have a joint grant from Swedish and Canadian government on AI for education with the University of Lagos. So we are an integral part of this university. And that's why I'm begging you, please use their facility well, enjoy the ambience, and let the story of DSN and AI and University of Lagos continue to be a fantastic story. Are we together? Let me just show you some pictures. When we opened our first AI hub here in 2018, the university gave us a location. We set up a center, and this explains why a lot of University of Lagos students were the first set of students who started going global, because we gave them access to all our working tools within the University of Lagos. Our dream and aspiration in the next few years is that what we did with the University of Lagos, we can replicate across all universities in Nigeria so that the impact can continue. So these are some of the amazing stuff. This was our first hub in the University of Lagos. An amazing memory. Good. Let me tell you some amazing facts about AI Bootcamp for DSN to inspire you even more. DSN started in November 26, 2016. That was where DSN started. And by January 16, we ran our first all-expense-based bootcamp at an hotel location in Lagos, Nigeria, which of course costed us millions of naira and without any sponsor. Why did we do that? Because it was clear to us that building the future is about the selfless sacrifice that we make. And I tell you, each time I look at all the participants that made this January 16, 18, I'm going to play a video. You're going to see some of them. They are the known faces in the Nigerian AI community today. And many of them have also created platforms. I see Data Space Africa, and I see all our old students there as the builder. What better way can you be glad than to see that people who have come through you are making impact? And that is what we see about all of you, that all of you will go and build bigger platforms. You will touch more people than we have done. You will reach more lives. And that is the spirit of selflessness that we want to create among all of us, to go live this program and make more impact. It will remain 100% free. Why? Whether there is a sponsor or not, we will always raise the fund personally to ensure that whenever there is an AI bootcamp, we're not going to ask you to pay money, so that, you know, I know a story of a young man. It's one of the stories that inspires me, you know, myself and our executive director, who is also my wife. The young man, he came to our bootcamp 2017. He joined the learning community somewhere in Benin. He finished with a first class in mathematics. Because he knew nobody, he ended up teaching in a nursery and primary school, earning 7,200 naira every month. And the young man was very contented. I mean, he was very, very happy, living his life. Until someone told him about one DSN AI bootcamp where if you study well, you can qualify, and they will give you money to attend. This young man participated. He did very well in the competition. It was in the top 7. And his code was very unique, because we were modeling the behavior of the low-income people on financial risk, predicting the propensity to default on a loan. It was a data from one of our partners called 1Fi, now called Carbon. One of these founders is one of our board members. So the young man built a unique model, and he provided an explanation to this model. So he came to the bootcamp. We shared the model with the CEO of 1Fi, who, like I said, is one of our board members, Ngozi Dozie. All these are stories online, because the young man wrote the story. And he read through this, and he said, this guy, the way he built model is actually more powerful than even his full-time guys. Why? Because the guy came from the streets. The guy knew all the other variables that can predict the propensity of someone to default. For example, he picked a variable that if someone is betting, if someone pays religious money like tithe on a consistent basis, he has a high propensity of not defaulting on a loan. The young man discovered it. Mind you, before that time, he was earning 7,200 in a Austrian primary school. So he came to the boot camp. From there, my friend Ngozi Dozie was so wild about him. He got his letter of appointment at the boot camp, and he was meant to resume on Monday after the boot camp. And then we told him, go back to Benin and pack your bag. Guys said, wait till I won't go to in Benin. The 2 shirts I have, the 2 jeans I have, now him I bring for boot camp. The job starts. But the joy of it was the fact that when he joined 1-5, they were located at VI, Ahmadu Bello Way. And they provided a small space for staff and all of that, so he was staying there. This guy was, because he still maintained his 7,200 lifestyle. Of course, his salary was like times, you can imagine. Within 1 year, he built a computer center for people in his community so that the advantage he got, others can get it as well. This is our message. It's not hype. It's not we do nice events and it does not translate to real people. We don't do that at DSN. I'd rather touch 5 people who can touch 10,000 people than touch 2,000 people whose interest is all about themselves. They are efficacy and there is no impact. The young man is doing so well today, and he keeps supporting DSN with small change and supporting young talents in DSN who wants to grow. That is the spirit and the essence of DSN AI Bootcamp. Beyond the hype of posting nice pictures on social media, adding it to your portfolio, is the fact that you become the light in your community. You go and make a difference in people's lives. And I tell you, what you give to others who cannot give back to you, life has a way of giving you much more of those values. Are we together, guys? I need to preach this message because this is what is driving us. A lot of my friends ask why, when we started DSN, I was a C-level executive of the biggest company in this country. I have no reason to be running to campuses. I was, you know what they call C-level executive? I was a board member. So we were well settled. We had everything we needed in our life, you know. But life is not in the comfort of yourself. If there is a boy somewhere that you can help. And that was how we started Data Science Nigeria. And we've been extremely privileged to have amazing staff over the years who believe in the same vision. They have opportunity to say, I want to go and join bigger companies. But they knew that they are not just working for salary. They understood what we are doing. Please, can you help us clap for our staff? Who have also shared in our vision that we are going to contribute to it. And that is the essence of DSN AI Bootcamp. Good. He's not responding. Okay, good. Of course, in 2017, the story of AI Bootcamp trended on social media that got the attention of Cargo. And of course, one of the fathers of AI, Yoshua Bengio, also got to know about it. And of course, that has given us pipelines. You know, for example, Mila, you know, I can count the number of DSN students who are in Mila in Canada as a result of the fact that they are associated with the work at Data Science Nigeria. And that is how the little thing you do will open doors in diverse way if we are very committed and insistent about what we do. Are we together, guys? I hope I'm inspiring someone because that's what I meant to do this morning. So these are pictures of our past AI bootcamp. This is Benga. Benga leads AI for AT&T in the US today. He's standing here. You can take his picture and Google him. This is Toeshe. Toeshe leads AI for AstraZeneca in Germany. I can pick each of them and tell you their story. It's not just what they are doing. It's about, this is Femi. Femi is based here in Nigeria at Stanbic Bank, leading their AI. Of course, we have several of them like that. What's important for me is not what they have become. It's what they are helping others to become. And that's what I want to challenge you as we all go back. What will others become because of me? That is the peak of greatness. What others can become because of you. Are we together, guys? Good. So these are some amazing. You see that the logo is different. This was done January 10, and we started DSN November 26. So we didn't have a logo at that time. So that's why the logo is a little bit different. Okay, good. This is Ngozi Dozie that recruited the gentleman. He's the CEO of Carbon. How many of you know Carbon? Please, if you don't use their service, please go use their service. Please use their service for banking services. That is a good friend of ours. So I just want to share with you, this was 2017. I would have loved to play this video, but because of time, we'll play it after. No, we'll play it after. These are some of the top guys. This was the former assistant director for Microsoft in Nigeria. This was the chief data officer for Sterling Bank. This is the lead for Microsoft community in Africa. So it's a program where you're going to meet a lot of people, build relationships, network with people, connect, share, build relationships as you come to this boot camp. Of course, some people will win at the end of the boot camp. We're going to have a lot of awards. We're going to do some votings and all of that. A lot of things will happen. So this is meant to just trigger your mindset around some things that will happen at the boot camp. I'm sure you know Karim Ben-Gor, the CEO of Instant Dip. That was him in 2018 at our boot camp in Nigeria. How many of you know Instant Dip? How many of you know Instant Dip? That is to demonstrate our intentionality from our beginning to build to scale, to build for impact. Meeting and working with, this was him in Nigeria in 2018. Good. These are faces that many of you will know who lead AI boot camps. So this was the last physical AI boot camp that we did in 2019 before COVID came. And after COVID, we've been doing hybrid. But I'm glad that 2024, we are back together face to face. It's quite delightful that we're back face to face. So a lot of activities will happen, certificates will be issued. So these are just pictures to stimulate you. Of course, there will be some awards. One of our biggest awards at this boot camp, which is sponsored by one of our friends, Boaz, Integrated Energy, is AI School of the Year Award. So which will allow us to buy AI books worth some millions of naira to help set up an AI library in your school. We could have given you money, but if we give you money, you share it among yourself. And what happens? That is the nature of our community today. Get money and chop it. Get travel ticket, travel for yourself. Our model is make things that 5 years after you have gone, someone else will go to that school and use the book that you are able to get for that institution. So that's the kind of things that we try to do. Okay? So these are some of the pictures from the last event. So I'm now going to some sermonizing. So if there's anything you need to remember, remember all this sermonizing that I'm going to do. Learn a lot, build network, grow, and shift your focus away from what is not working. When you come here, oh, the room, oh, there was mosquitoes. Oh, I could not, there's no laundry machine in this place. Oh, the toilet was dirty. The food was not a balanced diet. Can you just give this 5 days and just let go of your comfort and know that this is the reason why I'm here? I believe that all of us have gone through youth service, NYSA, and we've gone through the rigors of getting somewhere where things never happen. When I went to serve, I served in Zamfara State, somewhere called Gumi. I don't know if I have anybody in Zamfara State here. Hey, please, can you clap for my people from Zamfara State? It's in the edge of the country. We got to the camp for 3 days. There was no mattress. There was no mat. We were sleeping on bare floor. But the joy of the fact that this is what we've been praying for, to be a graduate, was so overwhelming that we never remembered that we were sleeping on the floor. And mind you, there was no water, until day 4, when the chairman of the local government then brought water. And even the water they brought was very interesting. You can imagine, what it was. We went to camp in December. It was Harmattan period. It was seriously cold. But we survived because we knew why we were there. Because after this 1 year, we're going to become a worker, So the bigger picture was more important than the pain that we went through. So that's why I want us to focus on what matters here. They may not give you the best food that you want. You may like them to have served you on special plates and it's plastic plates. Please bear with us. You may have wanted fortified water, but they are giving you ordinary water. Bear with us. You may have wanted your room to have water heater because you always have your bed with water that is 38.9 degrees centigrade or 49.7. It must never be less than that. I appeal to you that it may actually be 5, it may be 10. Have an open mind to bear with the inconveniences. And for what we can control, let's control it. For example, if we use any of the restroom, remember that my friend will come after me. Let me make it better. Are we together on that? Whatever we can do better on ourselves, let's make it better. And make it the best that it can be for ourselves. Are we aligned on that? Good. And then I'm going to talk about what we call the era of self-centered community building. And I'm very passionate about this because I knew how we started the AI community in Nigeria. I literally championed it. And I knew a lot of young guys that we raised at that time. And before we knew it, everybody was building their own platform as well, which for me was I was very glad. I even funded many of them. The next thing I see is after 1-2 years, those things die. And I called those guys, what is happening? And I remember, and one of the things that became clear is that those things were built for the moment to build their profile because they want to do masters, they want to apply for a visa. So they just needed to use the community as part of their credentials. And after they get it, the community dies. I'm talking to you based on my personal pain because I wrote the letter of recommendation for most of these young chaps. Using the letterhead of my former organization and DSN at that time because I wanted them to progress. And after some time, the children you used to teach, can't you be doing virtual class? I remember one of them used a term, Oga Okmontisun. That was for that time. I've gotten my visa, I've moved on. So, Okmontisun in Yoruba means who can, because that word hit me, that I've moved on. We just created those things, ex-community of Nigeria, so that when we want to apply for masters and PhD, we can package those things and use it to move on and all of that. It's community for myself, not community for others. It's an emerging trend. And of course, some of them who are close to me, I warned them that you guys are becoming more hype men. You are not deepening impact. Because if what we started 7 years ago, the level of commitment we were making, going around campuses, investing our time, resources, it is what, if these guys are spending only 5% of what we spent 7 years ago to build community, every single place in Nigeria will be a center of AI excellence. But when guys get grants these days, it's now to go and change their shoes and change their wardrobe. A grant comes, his next thing is, what can I do with it? Self-centered community building. And mind you, the guys will gather, we're becoming like politicians. I read a story that somebody posted on Twitter yesterday. He said the commissioner gathered them in a room that they are doing digital skill. And he gave them computers on the whatever. He said they took pictures. I don't know if anybody saw it. Somebody saw it. You saw it. He took pictures, and after the person took picture, they collected the laptop from them, and they asked all of them, thank you for coming. That is what people are building today. Self-centered community. Use them, achieve your intention, and zoom out. Community is for me to have opportunity to travel around the world, opportunity to be invited to conferences, and yet the people that you have used their equity, you don't care about them. Don't let us build self-centered community. It pains my heart when I see people that were funded, and not DSN, privately funded, to go do stuffs in their community, only use those things to travel around the world. And asking them to say, all the young men that you gather, we can still give you money to keep running virtual classes with them, and you are telling us that Okmotisu, I'm doing more serious things. Those people, I just needed them for that time. Don't be part of those new generation of self-seekers, self-builders, who are more interested in their popularity and not just helping a child in Maiduguri to rise beyond them, or that child in Jos to learn what that child needs to learn. Our focus remains that no one is left behind. And this is why we're going to remain resolute in our model. We're not going to be hype-driven. Our model will be that we invest in people, that we invest in others. We'll invest in our partner hubs, and I'm glad we have 38 of them here, who will go back and be able to create what we're creating here. My desire in the next 5 years is that we have a stronger AI community in bringing KB that can match whatever is happening in Lagos. Is to see a community based in Kaura Namoda in Sokoto State with the same intellectual bandwidth like what you will see in Abuja, Port Harcourt, or Lagos. That is what we call a genuine community. And those who will build that will never be self-centered. They will rather sacrifice the privilege they have to build the next generation of people. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. And I say, let the cycle of benevolence continues. Freely have you received. Freely do what? Give. I remember a young man, when we started DSN in 2017. We used to run the Saturday classes, and I used to be the facilitator. And then the way we ran it is, we send money for data to our students. We send money to them to join. And I will teach these guys all the fundamentals. I'll bring all my friends, we'll teach after the boot camp. And then the next thing I saw was one of them running AI class and charging money. Even the community where you are living, people are poorer than even Lagos. And guys, I'm not saying you, but the money was even charging was also not proportionate to the qualities of lives of people in that community. And I was saying, young man, we were giving you money to buy data. You came to Lagos, we funded your trip to Lagos. You needed to do IT. We got you a company in Lagos that you did IT. We got you a place to live while you were in Lagos for 6 months. And now you went back in your final year before you go for youth service to help others to learn like you. And all you can do for these children is to ask for money. What have you done? You've allowed children from low-income households to be disadvantaged. All these children you've gathered are children of GRA children. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. How are we going to create a better society when children of nobody cannot become somebody? Because somebody will be willing to go the extra mile to make a nobody a somebody. Guys, let's be very intentional. This is why data science Nigeria exists, and this is why we remain committed and resolute to ensure that no one is left behind. And that is why our work has gained global recognition. That is why we are leading the National AI Collective for Nigerian government, because everybody knows that these guys are not those chasers who just want those flash in the pan. It's not your money. People already know the reputation that we have. By God's grace, we have attained certain level of comfort in life. So people seeing us also get, why are you guys doing this that you are doing? You are comfortable with life. But because the gravitas that we bring to the table also help gives our community the credibility that we need. And that's why I'm appealing to you. Freely have you received. Tell your neighbor, freely give. Tell your neighbor, freely give. I'm begging you to go back to your community after this event and start helping somebody who cannot pay you back to learn the skills they need to build the future they deserve. This is why we do what we do. And that's why I am appealing to us. The only thing that will make this investment meaningful to me as a person. People ask me, oh, why did you leave your job to come and work DSN 100%? I could see the future. I've seen young talent that I've supported rose through the ranks. So we can build a better society when we all make the sacrifice that we need to make. So please, Freely have you received, freely give. Am I saying you should not make money? Make money freely. We call it freemium. How many of you know what they call freemium? You know what they call freemium model? I will give certain things free. When it comes to certain level where I need to spend more, I can charge for it. It's like Gmail. Gmail will not charge you. But by the time you want to make some level of storage, they will now charge you. We run general AI class for everybody, is free of charge. But if you want personal coaching, for which you need to buy some collabs and all of that, then you can pay some small money. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I say, this all free thing don't work again. No, I understand. How are we going to buy diesel for our generator and all of that? We can still do it, with a free mindset that we are not disenfranchising people. Are we together? Are we together, guys? Thank you very much, everyone. Let's enjoy the AI Bootcamp 2024. And let me be able to say that because someone came to AI Bootcamp 2017, a community in Benin became AI powered. Children of nobody were empowered. Cycles of benevolence were extended. Many lives from low-income households got hope, and the impact continues. That is the story I want to see. I want to see people arise from Jigawa because somebody from Jigawa came to this boot camp. I want to see some amazing guys emerge from Unsuka because somebody from Unsuka attended this boot camp. Because in doing that, we make impact and we change the course of our community. And we stop this individualistic, self-centered technology mindset, which is about I, and begin to build a community that is about helping the child of a nobody, helping every little child to become the best that they can become by being intentional in our commitment to fairness, accountability, shared prosperity, making sure that no one is left behind, and we support the development of everyone, everywhere, across Nigeria, from Sokoto to Uyo, from Maiduguri to Ijebu-Ode. Let everyone learn about the skill they need to build the future they deserve. One life opportunity we have to make a difference. Let us do it. I'm going to close by playing for us, in the last 15 minutes that I have, I guess, the video of the last AI bootcamp that we did here physically in 2019. It's just 15 minutes video to close my time, and then we go to the next session. Please enjoy the video, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thanks for coming.